Adam, every season's different, every team's different. How reasonable was it to expect some carryover from last year to this year in your team's ability to close as you did?
I think we have enough guys that have been through those type of situations. That's kind of the learning aspect of the game. You know, when you're trying to keep a core of guys together, and which we were able to really do for the most part from last year, I think that is something that can carry over when you get to the fourth quarter and there's that belief that, you know, guys are going to make plays. You know, you can count on the guy next to you to do his job so you can do yours instead of worrying about, well, can I trust this guy to do this? And, you know, just watching that fourth quarter, when you watch it from special teams, offense to defense, you see a lot of good things. You see a lot of different guys stepping up and making plays.
And where does that belief come from? Is it talent, leadership, coaching, experience? What?
I think a lot of it is experience. You know, sometimes it just takes one guy to make one play that kind of really gets guys believing. You know, even thinking back, as interesting as the Cleveland game was, you know, found a way to get into overtime, and then Jarvis makes a play. You know, Jay ends up scoring, and then going to the Jets game, you know, last year at home, where, you know, a guy like Drake, who's a rookie, you know, takes a kickoff return back. You know, it just might take one or two guys that just do something special at the right time that gets everybody thinking that you can win those games in the fourth quarter.
Adam, any serious injury concerns about Jay Ajayi or Jarvis Landry?
No, I wouldn't say serious, but I mean they both, you know, got banged up a little bit in that last game. I know Jay. There was a couple where he got really off. He was off his feet one time where he got spun around in the air there and took a pretty vicious hit. Jarvis had a couple where he took some shots, and you know it's probably a little more preventative than anything.
With this, obviously losing the bye, or taking your bye in the first week, let's put it that way, is a challenge. Do you have to have a game plan as a coach to sneak those extra days of rest in?
Yeah, that was probably the first thing that we started doing, was looking at the calendar, kind of seeing where we can make some adjustments. You know, we might lose, you know, some of these Mondays where you're used to meeting and going through the game. It might be, hey, let's get in here, let's get our lift in, let's get our run in, and then you send them off, and maybe you make Wednesday a little longer just so, you know, we can cover what we need to from the game. Try to steal some days here and there if you can. You know, it's there's ways to do it. You just got to try to figure out what's the right way for us.
A couple of unrelated questions. He asked you about Jarvis and Jay. Do you expect them to practice today?
I think right now we're just gonna, you know, I know Jarvis is going through individual. I'm not sure where Jay's at right now, and then we'll see kind of how he feels. It's really just more of, you know, is he still stiff? Does he feel like he can really get going? So, and plus with us being on the turf, I don't know if that's going to affect him at all. So it's really good. I'm just a wait and see for myself as well.
And I'm sorry, Armando. I asked this to Clyde. You guys went 0-3 in the red zone. Do you have a go-to guy in the red zone, and should you have a go-to guy in the red zone?
I've never really had a go-to guy in the red zone. So you just spread the ball out, make it tough. You want them to have to cover everybody. Run, pass, whatever we decide to do. Different formations. Want everybody to be effective down there. Everybody's got a little little something that they're better than the other guy is, and you lean on the things you know they're really good at. But I mean, we had some opportunities, had some bad play calls. They did a good job.
Speaking of that, you've been hard on yourself about the play calling. So have you figured out why you might have been off, according to you?
I mean, it was just, it was one of those situations. It was almost like I wasn't believing kind of how they were playing us. I was waiting for Gus to kind of take the next step, and he stuck with what he was doing. And that probably really, I should have just believed what I was seeing and just got to the things that, you know, we could attack the coverages they were playing. And I think I was just waiting for him to take, you know, whatever he had off of that, you know, if it didn't work. So I think it just wasn't, I wasn't giving our guys a good chance. I was just doing things in the first half that were just didn't let them just go play, win one-on-one matchups. We were just doing too schematical crap, you know, instead of just saying, all right, hey, Devontae, go win. Jarvis, go win. Kenny, go win. You know, so I think we got to that in the second half. You know, that's really probably the biggest thing was I felt like I held our guys back.
As a follow-up to that, you have two hats that you wear. You're also the head coach. And so a lot of things were happening to this team in the days prior to the game. And in the hours prior to the game, you had a player go AWOL. So is it possible that that stuff was also on your plate and you were like juggling all these things?
I think the one thing that it's kind of the one thing about this profession is you got to be able to compartmentalize things and focus on what you're doing at the time. And I felt like the play calling was more not necessarily from that. It was more trying to be too cute after that first drive. You know, we had some success and then kicked a field goal and, you know, stuck with a lot of some of the other things that we had game plan that maybe they hadn't seen yet. And instead of just letting our guys go win their one-on-one matchups. And that's really where I felt like I wasn't very good at, to where in the second half it was more allowed them to go play and just, you know, get the one-on-ones and win.
And I'd like to get your assessment in two areas: the hurry-up offense or up-tempo offense and the pass defense. What did you think about how you guys did?
I thought our guys did. I think in the second quarter we were a little fatigued there for a second, but they got their second win there, especially late in the second quarter. I thought the tempo was good. Time of possession was good. I don't remember the last time we won time of possession, so that was kind of nice, you know. But I thought they executed it. The guys did a good job. I mean, the communication was great. They were passing things long. We didn't have to signal. You know, they operated well. And then, you know, our pass defense, you know, we've been talking about it for a long time about tightening things up, helping our pass rush out by making the quarterback get off the first progression. And we feel like if we make that happen, our rush is going to get there. That's why we've invested so much in that front, whether it be the starters or the guys behind them, to where if we stop the run and we make it a, you know, one-phase type game where they got to throw all the time, we have to be tight in the passing on the outside so our pass rush can get there.
Oh no, you want to go?
No, good.
Okay.
I have one too.
When you were selecting this organization to become the head coach, how important was the whole setup, the ownership, the GM, in terms of factoring in that you can be successful?
I think looking at the roster, felt good about that. Had a young quarterback, wide receivers, felt like there were some good pieces on defense. And then once you get past that part of it, then you start, it's really about meeting everybody. Because I didn't know Mr. Ross. I knew Mike. I didn't know Chris. So it was more about getting in front of them and kind of seeing how it worked and see kind of the chemistry there. And it's hard to do because it's fast. I mean, you better make a quick assessment and be right. And I felt good about, you know, when I was going through that whole process, the longer I was around everybody, the better I felt about it. And it was probably good that I didn't know Chris, just because it was somebody that I could sit down with and talk to and kind of, you know, hear his opinion about what he's seen from teams I've been on, and then vice versa. So, you know, that was really the biggest part of the job interview that you go through, is seeing how, if you're compatible with everybody that's in the front office or ownership.
So earlier today, Matt Burke said about Lawrence Timmons, I'll be there for him whenever Adam decides he's back on our team. Timing aside, is the decision already made that at some point he will be back on this team?
I haven't made any decision. I'm going one day at a time right now, and I know there's steps that are being made, you know, with what's going on with him, and staying, Mike's really kind of taking the lead on that. And so I'm getting updates as we go. My biggest thing is I'm trying to focus is, my sole focus is this week. Guys that are here, focusing on the Jets, making sure that we're ready to go. It's, these weeks come quick, and there's more downtime when you get kind of that Friday, Saturday, to where if I need to kind of either look at something, research something, talk to somebody, it's better for me to do towards the end of the week than right now.
It's interesting sometimes when you talk about players in the sense of being different behind the scenes than what we might see, like you talked about Devontae before. With Kiko Alonso, he's another guy that seems very quiet in media sessions. What's he actually like behind closed doors and on the practice field?
I mean, he's fairly quiet. You're speaking English to him. You're speaking Spanish to him. It changes a little bit, but he's not too talkative. But I always try to mess with him, and he looks at me like I'm crazy, so I don't do it too much.
You should try in Spanish, though.
I'm not
Matt
very
Burke said
fluent right now.
I guess Matt Burke said he's the alpha dog of the group, but he does that through maybe an unconventional approach.
I think a lot of it has to do with the way he prepares and the way he practices. If you ever watch him practice, and you guys have seen enough between OTAs and training camp, and it looks exactly like he plays in a game. There is no three-quarter speed. There's no half speed. When we do walkthroughs, you're a little nervous because you're not sure what speed he's going to go. And if, like, watching him prepare, like when you walk downstairs and everybody else has been gone for 2 hours, he might still be down there. So he spends a lot of time in this building. He prepares about as good as any player that I've been around that's not a quarterback. So he is the ultimate lead by example guy. And I think he says things when he needs to say something. But I don't think it's just not really what he likes to do. He don't like to talk a lot. He'd just rather go perform.
Adam, from a conditioning standpoint and from a hamstring standpoint, how close is Ray to being able to help you?
Yeah, I don't know the exacts on that. I'm just, every once in a while I'll just stop down and be like, good day or bad day. My biggest thing for him is I just want to make sure he's healthy. The few times that we've had him out there, I was a little nervous for him. The linebackers are just working on just wrapping up and things, and he's popping guys pretty good. So, I mean, I'm excited to see when he does get out there and he's healthy and ready to go, just, a good piece to the puzzle.
What did you like about what you saw in Juwan James' tape from game one?
Probably the best game that he's played since we've been here. I can't speak for before that. Thought he was physical in the run game. He did an outstanding job in the run game. That's why we had a lot of those big runs came on his side. Did really well in pass protection. He fought. I mean, he was battling the entire game. He was very sound execution-wise. And, as far as his, things that he had been working on technique-wise, sounded like things went really well. And, if we get that from him, game in, game out, I'll feel really good about our tackles.